Orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. Single and multi-orgasmic. You can still be single and very well fucked. You can still be single and have a voracious libido, be deeply sexually satisfied, and have G-spot, squirting, and cervical orgasms on the regular. And it's essential that you do. When people talk about drying up sexually, the only way that you can do that is if you aren't having sex with anyone, especially yourself. The practices you do on your own will keep you sexually vibrant and humming with sensual vitality, which will help you to magnetize in a higher level partner when you are ready to. The key is to keep your sexual engines revved up. A lot of people will come to us and they think that they can't do the practices I teach because they need a partner. Sure, for some of the things you do, although I've seen some very keen women use dildos and bananas for their deep throating practice. But for most of what I teach, you can and ought to do this pleasuring work on your own. And here's why. We'll talk about the how in a minute. First of all, your sexual energy is your secret weapon in your life. It's not just about your libido and how many orgasms you're having. This energy is your creative life force and your key to manifesting what you want in your world, including a new partner. In all of our Well-Fucked All-Star interviews, you'll hear that people talk about two different things. The first, what's happening in their beds, and the second, what's happened in their lives as a result of what's been happening in their beds. Meaning that once they rev up all of their super potent, procreative sexual energy, they have massive changes in their sex lives, and that translates into huge transformations in their outer lives. They lose weight, they leave 9-to-5 jobs and embark on meaningful careers, they move cities. All of these things happen effortlessly, all because they got well fucked. You've got no time to waste waiting for a partner to come along. You can conjure one up from your genitals. Sexual energy generates magnetism. Your sexual energy is life force energy. When you learn how to own, inhabit, and wear it, you radiate charisma and the well-fucked vitality we always talk about around these parts. Call it pheromones or the glow of good lovin', but it's a palpable energy that people can feel. You look different. Are you doing something different? The stories I love most are when women tell us of how they spent an evening fucking themselves, and the next day they go shopping or they go to put gas in their car, all decked out in their sweats and messy hair, and by that I mean not decked out at all, and they get men galloping across streets and parking lots to ask them out. It's the glow of the well-fucked woman, and it eliminates the need for dating sites. I mean, whatever, use them if you want to, but your well-fucked glow is your ultimate dating profile. It permeates through time and space to find your perfect match. A well-fucked woman radiates confidence and the don't give a fuck factor. One of the hallmarks of a woman's or a man's sexual evolution is when they hit the I don't give a fuck what other people think of me phase. Although it's not a phase, it's now a way of life. You are so at home in your own body, self, sexuality, and power that the opinions of other people fade into oblivion. You live your life for you and you alone. You don't need the approval of other people and their sheep opinions. Fuck it. Fuck them. They also likely need to get fucked. in every way. This self-possessed and autonomous quality is so rare in people, and it's massively attractive. Sometimes it's confronting because it will mirror to a person all the places where they need to have more courage in their own life. You will manifest a higher level partner. By upping your self-love and your well-fucked factor, you will be lifting yourself into a new reality. If you feel like you always seem to attract the same sorts of people and repeat the same patterns, this is why it's crucial to fuck yourself out of your current state. Especially with the alchemy of the deeper vaginal orgasms, you literally change and rebirth who you are and how you show up in your world. And if you up-level your own vibration, guess what? Like attracts like, and so you're going to attract a higher caliber match for you. You start elevating yourself out of your cyclical patterns. Being single is the best time to work on yourself and catapult yourself into another dating dimension. You become a self-love factory who is hot for yourself. When you go into your dark, unexposed places and you love them up, you come into intimate relationships less guarded, knowing yourself more, and ready to go deep. Our well-fucked all-star Katie, in the Healing Sexual Trauma with the Jade Yoni Egg episode, describes this beautifully when she talks about going from a place of literally almost passing out when trying to touch herself to now being so turned on by herself that it's like coming home to your pussy and ripping your own clothes off. It is a fuck of a way to live. And again, this frequency of hot, sexy pleasure that reverberates through your life goes out there into the ethers to magnetize a partner who feels the same way about you that you do. Being well fucked changes your body. We have countless stories of women and men getting well fucked and their excess weight just dropping off of them. Breasts lift, tummies tighten, forehead and nasolabial lines decrease. All from having life-changing orgasms? Indeed. I even have a YouTube video on this, which is making fun of all of the lose belly fat overnight videos out there. But in our case, it's actually true. And the more nights of good loving you have, the more belly fat you lose. All right, and now for the how. How do you become multi-orgasmic when you are single? First of all, a Jade Yoni Egg practice is a non-negotiable for every woman. It's multi-purpose. Yes, you exercise and strengthen your vagina, which every vagina needs, so that you prevent and reverse urinary incontinence and pelvic organ prolapse. You increase your libido, lubrication, sensation, orgasmic potential, and give vaginal handjobs. And the egg is also an epic tool to connect to your sexual energy in a gentle, loving way. It brings your vagina alive so that it begins to function as your deepest intuition and your vagina brain and GPS. You integrate your vagina, your sexual organs, and sexual self into the full expression of who you are. The egg helps you to heal and bridge these formerly disconnected parts of yourself. And your vagina becomes strong, sensitive, articulate, and a pleasure magnet to bring you what you want in your life. Another wonderful tool is breast massage. A woman's breasts are the ultimate symbol of her disowned sexuality. Breasts get so much projected upon them that women routinely succumb to violent surgeries to beef up their chests, or their breasts become so dissociated from them that they literally get cut off. Breast massage is an amazing way to reclaim this connection with yourself and to do it from within. Women in my salons consistently report growing and firming the breasts with my simple 5-minute daily breast massage routine. Not only do you dislodge toxins and get lymph moving, but the breasts are also an extension of the heart. Lovingly connecting with your breasts daily instead of, or even if, you bind them up in heart shunting suffocation devices, aka bras, helps you to release physical and emotional stuckness and to open your heart. The best advice I can give you is go fuck yourself. And I mean that with the most deep and sincere goodwill. Feeling down? Go fuck yourself. Need to lose weight? Go fuck yourself. Struggling to pay rent? Go fuck yourself. Heavy periods? Go fuck yourself. Nothing will metabolize your stagnant energy, reset your nervous system, recalibrate you at the deepest soul level, and kick your creative genius into gear than going and fucking the shit out of yourself. Because that is exactly what you're doing. Fucking the shit, the toxins, and the demons right the fuck out of you. Your sexual energy and your vagina are your engine. This is where you plug into source to recharge. It's fuck food, and you need it every day. Your vagina needs it to eat every day. And if not, she will consume you. So feed her. She is one hungry fucker, much hungrier than anyone ever lets on. In fact, the idea of women being the fairer, less fuck-fascinated sex is total bullshit. Women and their vaginas are naturally insatiable. They do not have an off switch. They do not have a physiological refractory period. That is, once you get them going. Then they are Newton's law of momentum embodied. Once they're on, it's game on. The Taoists talk about how, sexually speaking, men are like fire, quick to ignite and quick to extinguish. Women are like water, slow to boil, and they keep on boiling. When your default for your life experience becomes bliss because you tuck into your vagina every day for sustenance, that is the frequency that you live your life from. High-level, multi-orgasmic, life-changing ecstasy, and like attracts like. All of your life experiences now take on this energy and magnetism. And yes, you can have all of the orgasms I speak about on your own. Clitoral, but I mean, who cares? G-spot, cervical, anal, nipple, energy, full body. Yep, every single one. If you don't have a cock in your life, you are in luck because I made you a set of my ultimate dream cocks. The Holy Trinity Couture Dildo set is my ode to my most favorite, most brilliantly designed cocks ever. You can find these love wand works of art in my Anami Alchemia online shop. And lastly, I would say sexual shadow work. Fuck any of the other shadow work you've ever done or ever could do and explore your sexual dark side instead. The fastest, most quantum growth I have ever had in my sex life and in my overall life happened when I went hard and heavy into all things sexual shadow. My partner and I uncovered every taboo, every dark corner, every secret fantasy that I dared tell no one about except him, and then we brought them all out into the light. Nothing has changed me so fast, so powerfully, and permanently as this. All of the taboo in sexuality makes it the ultimate place to explore, uncover, and illuminate. Everything else is amateur hour. Today's all-star is Sarah. She came into my work single, and she used this time to explore herself and to discover all of the deeper vaginal orgasms, using cervical orgasms to heal through a breakup and as a, quote, roadmap to wealth that skyrocketed her business. Well-fucked all-stars.
I'm so excited to share this because once it happened to me, I was like, I need to scream this from the rooftop. So here we go. I enrolled in vaginal kung fu and I learned about jade eggs and lifting things with my vagina and like just all these crazy stuff. And I healed so much, so much. And then right after taking vaginal kung fu, I was like, okay, I want to take Well Fucked Woman because I felt like it was part 1 and part 2. And it was honestly, Kim, like seriously, it was the sex education I never had that I always needed. And it just completely changed my life. Like, I can say that hand on heart. And from that, at the time, I had a boyfriend. We're no longer, together. It's been a couple years. But when I told him about this whole, all these different ways like that a woman could orgasm, because I always thought that you could only orgasm through your clit and that was it. And my boyfriend at the time was actually like, no, actually you could have like things called G-spot orgasms. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I'll show you. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know you could do this. And so then I thought that, oh, I needed a man to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then your work counteracted that and said, no, like you can have a man there, and you can also do it by yourself. And so we just kind of started slow and, worked up to G-spot orgasms. And then my first cervical orgasm I had with him. And then funny enough, like a few weeks later, we ended up breaking up. And I remember being like, oh no, like, can I no longer have these because I'm not dating him?
Yeah.
But then I just kept going back to your salon and I was like, well, Kim says that she can have them like by someone touching her arm. So like, if she can do that, I know I can. And I just kept telling myself like, and I know it might sound a little crazy, but I would tell myself like, I am a multi-orgasmic woman. I am a well-fucked woman. I would literally say it to myself over and over. And there's so much power in your mind because if you train your mind to believe something, your body will follow. And so I just kind of kept telling myself that, following your salon, like just doing everything you said. And I was like, she's right. She was right. And I started having them on my own. And it was in that moment I knew, even though I was grieving the heartbreak of this person that we were no longer together, I knew I was going to be okay. Not because I could just now have all these orgasms, but I felt like, oh, I feel healed. I feel like I have access to something that I didn't have before. And I honestly felt like, in a way, I felt closer to God. Maybe for someone that's spirit, source, divine, whatever you believe in, but I felt closer to God. And I was like, wow, like he didn't, make this to be bad. He made this to be pleasurable. Like I wouldn't have the capability to do that if it wasn't in me, right. And so it just completely changed my life. So thank you. For me, it came from a place of, it was the most powerful tool I had for personal transformation and spiritual evolution, because not only did it heal me from like the inside, but also the outside. Like it was, and that's I think what your work is based on. You can't sugarcoat stuff. You can't just treat a symptom. Like, we're going to the root of the issues here. And cervical orgasms, what they do is they amplify, at least in my experience, they amplify your life and all the good things. But then it's almost like dusting off these old cobwebs and these dirty files that you haven't really looked at, and it causes you to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And like you said, it's this self-actualizing tool that it's just completely transformational. So I'm fascinated by words and languages, and I just love it. And the Latin word for courage, it means cur, and it means the heart. And that's what I felt like cervical orgasms did for me, was it opened up my heart, just opened and opened it and opened it. And that's, I think, part of the formula to having them is you have to have an open heart, and they can help you open your heart. Because after my boyfriend and I broke up, I mean, I was really in love with this guy. Like I was the best girlfriend I could have ever been. And my friends, after we broke up, they were like, oh, well, just like go date another guy. And I was like, no, like I'm not going to get under someone to get over somebody else. Right. Like I need to process this. Like I need to get through it. And whereas he took that route and then never dealt with the hurt and the pain of it, and is apparently still dealing with that. Whereas me, I feel completely healed of it, stronger than before. But I think that that's what one of the greatest tools you can have is if you're going through heartbreak, like, have cervical orgasms or take
Right.
salon, Ken's salon, everyone, so that you can learn how to have them, and you'll be just fine. They're the ultimate heartbreak healer.
Yes, absolutely. So, can you describe for us how do cervical orgasms feel to you? Like physically, emotionally, spiritually? You've touched a bit on the spiritual element, but how do
Hmm.
they also feel in these other realms?
Sure, yeah. It's kind of interesting because I remember when I first learned that they were even possible, because I didn't even know I had a cervix until I was like 19, 20 years old, because all I was taught was I had a vagina. So I
Right.
didn't know any anatomy on that. So for me physically, they're nothing like a clitoral orgasm. Clitoral orgasms, for anyone listening, they kind of remind me of like when you walk up like a little 15-foot ledge and then you like jump off like a 10-foot waterfall and it's like woo. Whereas and then like it's done, like goodbye. Whereas a cervical orgasm, to me, it feels like you're just going like further and deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're vibrating, and it's consuming. It's powerful, and it spreads throughout the entire body. It's like this orgasmic, spiritual, enlightening, intense, but also safe in a way climax, and it lasts longer. For me, I've had them last for hours at times. Not every single time, but they're definitely something that you feel throughout your entire body, and it's like you just got this like incredible massage, spiritual tune up, and like you just let out all these tears of emotion that you don't even know what you were crying about. And it just feels incredible. I've never had anything feel like it. So it's kind of hard to compare it to something else because it's not like anything else. And I just always, every time I have one, I feel healed. I feel like everything's going to be okay and everything is safe. But it's not like a clitoral orgasm where it's centrally located to the vagina. It's literally just like inside out, every fiber of your being, all your cells, your hair, your eyelashes, everything. I remember like when I first found your work and I was like, okay, like I believe in investing in my growth, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And then this was the first time I was like, okay, I'm investing in my sexual growth, which was kind of a new thing for me. And, but I was like, okay, like I really believe in this woman and I believe in her work. And I believe that if I invest in this, it will come back to me tenfold. And I'm not sure why I felt like that, because at the time I wasn't doing good financially. And I was very lost and confused in my life. This was years ago, but I just believed that I would make back that investment. And what I think the biggest exterior result I've seen is actually in wealth, in my business, in money. Before I was really struggling financially. I now own a few different companies. I own my own coaching business, and that has just skyrocketed in growth. I own a consulting marketing business with my sister. We're just launching another CBD skincare line, and that's been doing great. So, and it's just crazy because that wasn't something I was expecting. Like I wasn't expecting like, oh, if I have cervical orgasms, like I'm going to make more cash. Like it's not like that was going on in my head, but it released this feeling of surrender and knowing that I was going to be taken care of. And that's one of the seeds of manifestation. If you want to create and generate more wealth in your life, part of that is having trust and faith. And what better way to practice trust and faith than with orgasming and having and experiencing that on a daily basis. So it was this roadmap almost to wealth, which was not what I was expecting. And I was able to get out of debt. I had some student loans. And yeah, I would say that's the biggest change that I've seen from a physical standpoint. And then also just I feel more confident in myself, which has helped me to put myself out there more. I do a lot of speaking, and I like going like speaking and teaching at retreats and stuff, whereas before I would have been too shy to do that. But I feel like I have this reservoir of confidence in me, and I'm not sure where it comes from at times. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the orgasms. Like it's that sexual energy. And when there is that retraction, the whole point of cervical orgasms, in my view, is to bring you closer to yourself and that heart. So eliminating things that no longer serve you, just from a physical standpoint and a mental, emotional standpoint, and then also practicing surrendering, deep breathing, just faith and trust, and then just letting yourself know, like, hey, it's okay to go here. And even if you're with a partner or you're by yourself, no matter what, I've got you. I'm with you. I have your back no matter what, because you are your longest commitment. So that's kind of been my area of processing it. And then also vaginal weightlifting has been a key integral role in all of this, because if you have a numb vagina, then it's not going to feel good, and there's going to be that disconnect. So the egg has been really a beautiful instrument in allowing me to bridge that gap from where I was to where I wanted to be. But I would say that to learn it from someone, a professional such as you, and learn why it's there and use it as a tool to heal and learn and grow from. And that's what's allowed me to get to that point. And it also made me feel more connected to myself, that I was doing this to pleasure me or to heal me, not that it had to be with another person, for another guy, that I could do it for me, offer me, only me, and it didn't have to include anything. And so it allowed me to heal the numbness in there. And then within a couple weeks, I think I had my first G-spot orgasm. I mean, honestly, I would just like to say thank you so much for everything you've done. And anyone listening, like, if you haven't taken Kim's salons, like, just take them. I promise you, you'll make back your investments. And, it's just the greatest tool I've found for personal transformation and spiritual evolution. And just healed so much. Like, literally, I don't know who I would be if I hadn't found your surfboard lifting vagina in my feed years ago. Like, I literally don't know who I would be. So I'm getting emotional talking about it, because to this day, it just continues to give me gifts. And the salons, you have access to them for forever, and I've taken them over and over. Anytime I want to learn more and grow more, and every time I take it's almost like taking it for the first time, because I learned so many new things that I didn't know before. So that would be the one thing I would like to share with anyone. Give yourself that gift, because you deserve it.
All hail the vaginal truth. Vaginal Kung Fu is open for registration now, and it closes February 2nd at midnight PST. In the salon, you become a maestro of all things vaginal and sexual. You will learn my step-by-step guided vaginal weightlifting routine, yoni massage to denumb and activate your vagina, quantum techniques to clear your blocks and illuminate your sexual shadow, breast massage practices to tone, lift, and enlarge the breasts, natural birth control and detoxing off the pill, how to make menstruation and menopause the energizing and rejuvenating portals they were meant to be, how to give a vaginal hand job, and how to use your sexual energy to heal yourself, including my legendary sex position mood guide. Go to kimanami.com, find my sexual savant salons, and then click on Vaginal Kung Fu. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe and also leave a review. And send someone else the gift of a healthy libido and an off-the-charts love life by sharing this episode with them. We'll be back next week, and in the meantime, many happy orgasms.